Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode of the Scalable Expert Podcast. I am thrilled that you're here. Hey, we have a special guest today. Lesley Sprague is here with us, and I am so happy to welcome you to the podcast, Lesley. To get us started, let us know a little bit about yourself, your business, and all of the things.
Hi, everyone. I am so grateful that I am here with you today. I am an intuitive energy healer and coach, and I help people to calibrate to their next level frequency using their intuition and helping them to develop that so that they can get to the next level that they see for themselves.
Awesome. All right. So tell us, how did you get into this in the first place?
Honestly, I think I always say it just fell down the rabbit hole. I think it was through divine intervention almost. I first found out about energy work at a networking event that I was at, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then next thing I knew, I was taking all the courses, and then I just kept going down the rabbit hole, and here we are. Like, I could learn and talk about energy work, personal development, mindset for days on end, and especially intuition too.
Yeah. So I love that because obviously, this is a Scalable Expert Podcast, right? So I love hearing stories about people who have developed an expertise around their interest or their passion and then turned it into a business. So tell us a little bit, like, how do you help people? Like, what would be like a typical interaction that you would have with a client?
I actually have a unique ability to be able to, like, how do we say it? I can see different frequencies. If I was working with you, we would come together much like in this room, and we would, depending on what you were working on, if we were working on your business, we would go through and energetically identify any blocks that are coming up inside your business that I'm noticing. And we can talk to your ideal client, find out how you can best help them, what they need to hear from you. So, taking those barriers down. And then also on a more personal level, like if you're not getting the results that you are wanting, then we would tackle what's going on with you energetically, what's holding you back, what thoughts, beliefs, whether it could be past life or like in your energy field. And we would clear that and cut cords or whatever is needed. My sessions are completely driven by intuition, and that's one of the things that I love about what I do is that I never know where we're going. So it's
Interesting.
all
So do you primarily, like, when you're working with a client, is it all one-on-one where they're with you in the room and you are helping them in that way? Or do you have different offers where you're helping people in different ways?
mostly it's right now it's one to one, but I am like I can do group settings as well because when you are in a group, quite often energies attract energies. It's almost like a moth to a light. Like all the bugs in the summertime, they all fly to the light. They're all connected to the same frequency. And so everything ties together. And to explain frequency a little bit easier
Thank you. I was going to ask.
is that right now, if we think of ourselves as radio stations, we are emitting our own energetic frequency or blueprint. Right now, in either of our spaces, we could turn on a radio station that will give us country music or rock music. But because we don't have the radio on and we don't have it connected to that station, we don't hear the music. And if I were to tell you to think of your grandmother, that's her energetic blueprint that you're thinking of right now. She has an energetic imprint, but I can't connect to that frequency because I don't know her in this moment and don't have that information available. It's the same with us and where we are currently, where we want to go, And when we connect to the energetics of where we want to go, we allow ourselves to think from a different space. So we're able to see, think, and notice what we would do in those situations because we're connected to that energy. For each one of us, I'll use money as an example, but there's an energetic version of us that is broke and homeless. But there's also the energetic version of us that is a multimillionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever you want to use as the extreme. We just need to connect to that energy to be able to close the gap on that level. And that's how you're able to scale, is because when this is your current results and this is where you want to go, view your business and your life from this place, you're able to see things differently than a lot of people are on this plane and looking up like, how do I get up there? But you see things from a different vantage point, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
so that makes perfect sense, actually. Like, that is a great explanation. I don't think I've ever heard it like that before, and I love that. Because people are always, oh, well, act like your future self or who you want to be or whatever. But that was such a great description of the differences between looking up and being that. So connect me then with, how do you help people go from there to there? Like, how do you help people with that? What does that look like?
So, first, we would get clear on, okay, what goals do you have for yourself? What do you see? Because every thought that comes into our mind is made for us. And it's our choice whether we reject or accept that and want to go forward with it. When we have a clear vision and a goal with where we want to go, then we are able to call in the energy of her, because you already know what she's like. And the exercise that I love to take my clients through is to actually have them try on her energy. Like you're putting on her pair of pants and her coat and like putting on her head, it shifts the way you vibrate. Like when I've done it for myself, I've felt myself getting taller and leaner. And it is an amazing experience because you're connecting to that energy. And then you're able to think from that perspective too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you help people uncover that and then practice that? Like,
Yeah. Because intuition is a muscle. So if you don't use it on a daily basis, we are all always guided. It's just whether or not we choose to believe what we're hearing or not. You, I'm sure we both heard many stories where people are like, oh, I was told not to take that route home and go this way. And I'm so glad I did because there was an accident on that road. But what they don't realize is that was their intuition talking to them. And it's the same within your business. You can get crystal clear on what your next right step is. And there is no wrong answer on what your next step is. But when you connect it to the desire and the excitement that you have, that's your guiding post. And your intuition becomes more of your internal GPS system, and it guides you to your path of success where you'll get the most growth in the fastest amount of time.
it's fascinating. I love it. Okay, so what's one piece of advice that you would give to our audience around being able to listen to your intuition, being able to step into that place? Like, what's some tactical advice you can give them?
So, what I would say is I've got a few little tips. First, let's create a little bit of a ritual. Make it a daily practice, weekly at the least, connecting to that muscle. Because even if you're learning to do a new sport, you got to practice in order to get good at it, right? Find yourself a space that you can be quiet and concentrate on. Not a good idea to do it in the middle of the living room in the evening with all your family around, everybody talking. probably not going to connect to your ideal client or your intuition in that moment. So create a quiet space, find a comfy seat or with blankets, grab yourself for sure a journal and a pen, and connect to your breath and just feel the rise and fall of your chest, really focusing on that inhale and exhale only. That is the key. Allow the monkey mind to quiet, dismiss any thoughts that come up. And if your mind is also really busy, one of my favorite tricks to do is I do a lot of my work with my eyes closed because I can see a lot too. And it's close your eyes and envision the show is over. Like I visualize curtains coming across and closing. There's no more thoughts. They can go backstage and wait for their turn to come up. And then just keep connecting to your breath. And this will help drop you into your heart space. It'll connect you to your body and your present moment and help to ground you. And then from this space, just if you have specific questions that you're seeking guidance for, you can use those. If you're looking for general guidance, like if I could be, do, and have anything, what would that be? And then just allow yourself to free flow and write what comes. And the most important piece in all of this is to just trust. Because that is one of the biggest issues is that something will pop into people's minds and they'll be like, no, that's not what I think I should hear. And that's the problem, what we think we should hear or see. Because that's the truth about intuition too, is it can come to us in many forms. Some people hear things. Some people feel things like that gut feeling that we're always hearing about. And some people see things. Just allowing those to come to you and just be present and just don't judge what comes up. Just allow it to flow. And that's how you'll strengthen that connection. Allowing yourself to trust in your own ability because we all have it.
Yeah, that's powerful. All right, everybody go and do that. Like, pause the podcast, go do that. It's important. No, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So let's go back to like your business model, and you're primarily doing one-on-one right now in person. Where are you
No,
located?
virtually.
Virtually.
Like
Oh,
just
okay,
like
perfect.
this. I can do over Zoom.
Got it.
Since
Okay, so anyway, yeah,
because it's frequency, right? So like I can connect to your radio station whether we're in the same room or you're in Florida.
right, right. Okay, cool. All right, so virtual, that's great. So what happens when you want to make a bigger impact in the world and help more people, and you run out of time? What's your plan for moving forward with that?
That would be like I would explain it as we are onions. So we are constantly peeling back the layers to our true self. One session with me is powerful and life changing. I have a client who has completely changed the marketing in her business and it has exploded. But if you really want to dive in deep, then we can keep going. It's almost like a appointment with your massage therapist to clear that stuff and keep diving deeper.
Yeah, awesome. Very cool. Okay, cool. All right. So what's one book, resource, or tool that you can't live without as you are running your business?
Oh, I would say that is my daily mindset ritual. So every day I take time to study some personal development, reflect on my own self, and then also stay connected to my vision and my dreams and my desires. Because that's what keeps my intuition fulfilled is okay, this is what we're going for. Okay, let's bring in more ideas and beliefs and things to support that. And when you don't have that, then you go in automatic pilot, and however I'm programmed right now is not getting me the results that get me to where I want to go. So I've got to constantly refresh and keep that focus.
Yeah, that's awesome. Or do you end up listening to all the radio stations at the same time instead of focusing on the one that you should be focused on?
Yes, because I would say it's a running joke in my house too that the squirrel has taken over. And, when you walk into the kitchen and you're like, what was I doing in here? I say the squirrel ran away with the nut and then I forgot what I was doing. So, yes, if I do not keep the channels clear and thoughts dismissed, then yeah, it gets chaotic and you can't hear what's coming in.
Got it. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today. I really appreciate it. For my audience that want to find out more about you, work with you, or do whatever, what do you have for us today?
You can check out my podcast. It is The Energy of Manifestation. I have all kinds of resources there. There's affirmations to help connect you to various levels and just all kinds of juicy goodness. And I'm also on Instagram at Lesley and Co XO.
Perfect. We will add those to the show notes. All right,
Yes.
Lesley, thank you so much for being here. Any parting words that you have for the audience today?
You were made to live life big. So don't settle for your current results and follow the call of your heart because that is where the magic is.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that's the final word. Thank you so much, Lesley, for being on the show. For everyone else listening, have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and do all of the things wherever you are watching or listening to today's episode. All right. There you go. Have a great week.